Welcome back to Sneakers and Sports. We here to talk all sneakers, all sports, all day, man. We appreciate everybody for pulling up. Continue to like, share, subscribe. We're going to keep bringing you this dope content. So let's jump this thing off. You know, we all love the NFL, and the NFL is on a break right now. So we need to address some guys and go ahead and need to hang up these cleats. It's some quarterbacks that's out here looking washed up. We came up with a top 5 list of washed guys that need to retire. I don't agree with all of them, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So, of course, we got Deshaun Watson. Of course, Dom is saying this man should retire because he's too busy hanging out in massage parlors and stuff like that. I think he put that behind him. I think dude still got a little something in the tank.
Didn't say all that. Don't on me, dog. I didn't say all that. Okay, that might be his past. I don't know. I don't know anything about his current or his future. I'm not saying nothing bad about him regarding no massages. But the play on the field, and his injuries, I think it's just done.
Let's talk about who else is on the list, man. We got Aaron Rodgers. He should probably stay in the dark room because, you know, he go do the dark cave. He should probably stay there at this point because, you know, he looking a little rough, although he did get the steal to the playoffs. Now we talking about Tua Tagovailoa. Of course, you know, we're going to talk about that. Dom said because of man's injuries that he need to go ahead and hang up the cleats. And then Geno Smith, of course, you know, I feel like, yo, man, it's over with, bro. And now you about to go back to New York. Yo, man, this is the place you got your jaw broke, bro. You might need to hang them cleats up, bro. Seriously. And you look sad. So we talking about those guys, and then we missing one guy. And I kind of think this is an obvious person. Russell Westbrook. What? I'm about to call him Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook. Russell Wilson.
Westbrook? I mean,
actually, Russell Westbrook doing much better than Russell Wilson.
I'm just kidding. I mean, definitely. I agree with
Westbrook is actually helping his team. You know what I'm saying? Although they're not winning, that's not his fault. The team is just bad, but I think he's actually doing better than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson should probably just hang out with Sierra at this point, you know, back her up as she goes on tour and just hang it up. Because, I mean, when you get benched for Fields, you're in trouble, yo. You getting benched for Justin Fields, you kind of in trouble, man. Because we seen Justin Fields go for 3 different teams and it didn't work. So he been on the Bears and it flopped. You know what I'm saying? He was with the Jets and it flopped. He was with Pittsburgh and it flopped. And the only reason it's going to work on in Kansas City is because he ain't going to never be on the field because Patrick Mahomes is going to be on the field. So that's why it's going to work out. And Andy can fix any quarterback. We know this. So if y'all had to pick the top person on this list that you think is washed, who you got?
The top person on that list?
If it's one guy, you got to say, yo, man, hang up your cleats, you washed. Who you talking about? I mean, you had all that smoke for Tua. You had a lot of smoke for Tua when we was in the pregame.
Probably Aaron Rodgers, but
nah, man, I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson. He's the top that's washed.
Yeah. You know, if it was my pick, honestly, I would add another person to the list.
Go ahead. Here we go.
It would be named Penix.
Yo, man,
oh my goodness.
It's just personal with you and Michael Penix, bro.
But if we have, that's the thing. If we retire Tua and we retire Penix, who is going to be the Falcons quarterback? You got to take one, dog.
At this point, the way Penix was playing, you and I could be that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, bro. You tripping,
I don't know about that.
You are tripping.
I don't know about that.
Oh, man.
You know they just signed Trevor Siemian. He cannot be the quarterback, bro. That's a journeyman. You talking wild.
But you see, I'm not looking for them to see Tua's on the list because Dom wants Tua on this list.
Yeah, he said the injuries. He said the concussions.
I don't have Tua on this list. I want to see how Tua does this season with the Falcons and see how that goes. I don't have him on the list as somebody that needs to retire. I think he should still play, and we should see what happens.
He 2 seasons removed from the concussion issues.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get a guy that. He 2 seasons removed from that.
These are not just concussion issues. These are like multiple concussions and severe concussions that there's a lot of people get concussions, dog, but they don't get to a concussion. I'm just sorry.
Yeah, he was in the fencing position. We've seen it twice.
So, and the fact is, I also think, I don't know if that situation has messed up his playability. It's like, I mean, his play has, like, ever since then, it's kind of gone downhill, dog. Like, I know he's with the Dolphins. You know, he had weapons when he was with the Dolphins, but dude, like, he's been kind of going downhill every year since he had those issues. So I'm not saying he can't do nothing with the Falcons. I'm not saying that, but
it was basically in the MVP running in 2023, right? Over 4,000 yards. I mean, dog, I don't know what you're talking about. And if you're talking about last season, there was a big talent deficit.
It wasn't just last season.
I mean, you're looking at the cheetah tore his leg up. They had
Yeah.
incompetent coaching. So what are you saying? He had no offensive
They had
line.
other weapons, dog. They had a great running game, like Achane. They had a great running game. They still
So
had
you saying
Waddle.
Achane is a top running back? That's what you about to come on this podcast and say. Dom,
Achane is a top.
You actually watch
dog. Wait a minute, now. Did you see last season? Achane is
had a
like
couple
at least
good
a
games.
top 5. No, he didn't have. He had more than a couple good games. What are you talking about, dog? He's a top 5 running back. A top 5 running back.
Yo, you sound wild, yo. So you putting this man in the same sentence with CMC and Bijan Robinson.
I said
that's
top
what you
5.
Saying.
I said top 5.
Those guys are top 5. They're top 5.
I didn't say top 3. I didn't say top 3. Dog,
Expert, help this man out.
Achane had a great,
help this man out.
Great
help him out.
Season last year. Regardless, we're talking about the quarterback. Like, we're not talking about the running back.
Well, all in all, the Tua situation, I don't think that he needs to just retire at this point or whatever. I mean, 2023 was probably one of his best seasons. He wasn't, he's had injuries and stuff since then, but I mean, 2023 is one of his best seasons, and we just got to see how he plays here with the Falcons. I think, barring injury, hopefully that doesn't happen, but barring injury, I think he's gonna do better than Penix. So we'll see.
There you go again with that. Man.
I think he'll be better than Penix.
At this point, you're gonna say Desmond Ridder better than Penix, aren't you?
I don't know. I think they're like neck and neck.
Come on now. Stop, man. Stop.
I mean, look, I can't stand the Falcons. I can't stand the Falcons. But, dog, Penix is better than Ridder, dog.
Way better. It's not even close.
Hey, we'll see.
Ridder is not in the league.
Ridder
is not in the league.
Yeah,
Ridder's at home on LinkedIn.
And Penix will be that way pretty soon, too. He'll be at home on LinkedIn.
Yo, man, you wild, Joe. You wild.
But you know what? You know what? He can come work for our podcast. It's all
not
good.
the way. There's no way in hell this man would ever step foot on our podcast. Not the way you talk about him.
Penix can edit our videos. You know what I'm saying?
No, you drag his name. Edit the videos.
Yeah, we give him an editing job.
When Penix see you, he probably gonna swing on you, bro.
Yeah,
you might not go out.
But that's good.
Real greasy, dog.
That's good. I mean, he got a little bit of money. He's been in the league for, at least a season. So I'll be happy, I'll talk mess on him and take his money.
All right, so hey, we let you get the fair one with Penix. Take the money out. Get the fair one with Penix. You got him?
Man, I don't know. I just know that he got the money. So I'm going to let him go ahead. He going to swing on me. He going to hit me, and I'm going to fall out, and I'm going to get paid,
So he going to do it. He going to do an Atlanta legendary move. Just take the biggest ice chest and just dump it on Mike's head. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Deion Sanders style?
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen, dog.
Call him a hater? Too. Hey, man, I just got to address this running back thing. We saying Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Jamar Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey.
Wait a minute. He had a better dog. He definitely had a better year than Derrick Henry, dog. Derrick Henry fell off at the end. Like he started strong, but no, I would not put him in that. Dog, Achane had a year. Are you kidding me?
I'm just let the comments handle you on that one, man.
No, bro.
You talking crazy?
Come on, dog. You clearly don't know what you're talking about. Achane
you talking real greasy right now, bro. You talking real greasy. But if I had to take my pick, who I'm gonna say should go sit down and not basically hang him up. Y'all already said Russell Wilson, so I'm going to let y'all have that one. I got to go with Geno Smith, man. He's washed up. We saw with the Raiders. He didn't get the job done. Look at the Seahawks. You get rid of him and you bring in Sam Darnold, you win a Super Bowl. I mean, not much else changed except for the quarterback. Quarterback and coaching changed and you win Super Bowls. I mean, it just shows. Geno's washed up. I don't think he has anything left in the tank. And let's be honest, before he got to the Seahawks, he was washed up. He was already washed up at that point. He's got a little lucky, Coaching saved his career for a second, and he's back to being washed up again. So I just think he should just go ahead and quit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, he's in his mid-30s. He's not showing that he's going to be like a big-time quarterback. He's not on the Allen level, the Mahomes level, Lamar level. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. So, I mean it's not somebody.
Geno, yeah, go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead.
I would say Geno did have like a resurrecting career with the Seahawks, but it's like, man, that 1 year in the Raiders just set him like 4 seasons back. Like it was just
this is
so
what I'm gonna
bad.
say about him. This is the thing, though. We seen Sam Darnold play on 2 different teams and get the job done. We seen him play with the Vikings. He looked good.
Yeah.
With the Seahawks, he looked good. Geno ain't look good after he left the Seahawks. He looked like washed up.
No, he looked horrible.
Well,
So,
I mean,
he didn't really have much, but
he could probably still. I mean, as a backup, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be a starter. I mean,
just go home, man.
I mean, look, Geno still, he's still smart. He's still smart. Still, accurate at times. I mean, he could be a decent backup.
Hey, Dom, he wasn't smart to run that man his money before he got that jaw broke.
No, he wasn't. But that boy KP loves some fights. Boy, he's gonna bring it. Some type of fight is gonna happen. He gonna bring it.
Hold on, expert. I gotta ask you. You the expert. You say you the expert, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a dude broke your jaw, you gonna let that slide?
If a dude breaks my jaw, no.
Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't like a, you know what I'm saying, like a head up. The dude basically stole off on him and sucker punched him and broke his jaw.
Yeah, I mean, at that moment, at that time, there's not gonna be nothing I'm gonna be able to do because my jaw is broke. But I catch them later.
Hey, it's never over, right?
Oh, never over. Never.
Well, sorry to go back to this. But Achane had 1,350 yards. He was 5th in the NFL in that. Okay, he was 1st in 5.7 yards per catch, 12 touchdowns, 488 receiving yards. Oh, yes, he's top 5.
Let me ask you this, bro. Where were the Dolphins at? What was the Dolphins' record? What other weapons did the Dolphins have besides him?
Like, it don't matter.
Empty calories, bro. It's empty calories.
He got busy. Empty calories. Deal with it, dog. He got busy.
It's empty calories.
So he has to be on a good team for it to be worth it. That's what you're saying.
Bro, they weren't even in contention for like a wild card. At least the Falcons were in contention with Bijan. That man wasn't even in contention.
I said top 5. I didn't say top 3. I said top 5.
Oh boy.
Said top 5.
Bro, you need some help, man. This is not fantasy football. It's real life. The man.
Yes, it is. Fantasy football matters.
He did all of that. Hold on. How about this, expert? You rattled off all them stats, and what did it do to help the team win? Nothing.
It doesn't matter. He got busy. But what did it do to? What did Barry Sanders help the team win back when he was playing?
Made the playoffs.
Like, he was the only one on the team.
They made the playoffs.
Come on. Yeah, and they also went
made the playoffs.
Whatever sometimes, dog.
Guess
Barry
what
Sanders
else?
was not like, they were not killing it in the playoffs every season.
Not only
when
they
Barry
made the
Sanders
playoffs,
played.
Barry was an MVP. So you should never mention the ghost of Barry Sanders and this man's name in the same sentence.
Look,
that's
I'm
wild
just saying, dog, you are a hater, dog. Devon Achane is one of their top 5 running backs right now in 2020.
Does that make sense to mention a guy's name who is basically an empty calories player with a guy that's a legend that was an MVP that had no other weapons and took his team to playoffs? Does that make sense to you?
No, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but what about Megatron?
Okay. I mean,
yeah. How was his team when he was on there?
No, it was him and Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
It was a
but
2-man
he's just
game.
saying they didn't have a good season. They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But yet still a bunch of people would say he was one of the best wide receivers.
Yeah, and they were
in
also
the league.
they still also made the playoffs. What are you talking about, yo?
But they
still made the playoffs with them guys.
They weren't really a good team though.
Man, I'm not gonna let you throw dirt on Sandy Creek, bro. You cut it out, bro.
Hey, I'm just saying. If you want to use that example, I'm not throwing dirt on.
I'm not gonna allow that, bro. That man's from our hometown. That's our hometown homeboy. That's from our backyard. This is somebody we know personally. I'm not gonna allow it, bro.
I don't know him personally. I just know we went to the same school. But but what you call it? I'm not gonna throw dirt on the dude. I would never throw dirt on him, but I'm using him as an example.
Yeah, that's wild.
He was a great player, but his team wasn't, really all that good. So
that's
where Dom's coming from.
We're gonna let the comments settle it. Let's talk about some great players. This is 2 great players we got to define and say basically who's a race to the bottom. So we talking about in the NBA, the modern era right now, the three ball era that Mike the expert loves. He loves watching these games with dudes just shoot 1,000 threes in a game.
Can't stand these
center
games,
shoot threes.
Yo.
That's his favorite thing to watch.
Oh, it's so terrible to watch.
So let's talk about the playoff ghost, man. And we talk about basically who is the biggest playoff disappointment. We talking about James Harden. Of course, the man's MVP, averaged a triple-double, did all of that. And we talking about Joel Embiid, also MVP. And you're looking at those 2 guys' careers, and they have definitely had some moments where they have underperformed. Obviously, James Harden, most famous for that lead, blowing a 3-1 lead to the Warriors. That's probably the most famous one that he's had as far as kind of coming up short. And then, of course, you look at Embiid. him crying after Kawhi put them home was probably his worst moment. Well, I'd probably say them losing to the Hawks is probably their worst moment.
Yeah, him crying is not really a bad moment.
Yeah,
I
the
mean, that's
Hawks.
just getting emotional about the game,
Yeah,
That happens.
Trae Young taking his heart was definitely a worst moment. So,
Mhm.
Dom, if you look at this, who is the biggest playoff disappointment of the modern era? James Harden or Joel Embiid?
I'm gonna go with James Harden, man. And I mean, this is my reasoning. First of all, Joel Embiid, a lot of his, I think, shortcomings came via injury. Okay, he's just been injury prone. Okay, and so a lot of the injuries happened at the wrong time in the playoffs and really hampered his play, right? Or he was playing injured and he was like the best player on the squad. Meanwhile, he had other role players that, basically wet the bed, like somebody like a Ben Simmons or, like other players that surrounded him. Meanwhile, James Harden, not only was he the MVP in the 2017-2018 season, the NBA MVP, he was the runner-up in 2014, 2015, and 2016 and 2017. Okay. He was the runner-up for like 2 years and then actually won the award. So basically, you can argue he was one of the top players in the
He
league.
was?
And every time he got in the playoffs, he was a totally different person.
Well, it's more like game sevens with him. It's more like game sevens because you got to remember this
Yeah.
man has taken his team to Western
Okay.
Conference Finals more than once. So it's more about he hasn't played well in
All right.
game sevens.
Well, when it really mattered, I'll say when it really mattered, when his back was to the wall, he really has not shown
Well,
up.
here's the thing, expert. I want you to help this man out. Here's the thing: you got to get to a game seven. Joel Embiid don't be in game sevens. We seen Joel Embiid have John Collins outplay him. That man took his heart, put him on a t-shirt. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of leaning more towards Embiid. But what you say, expert?
Yeah, so here's the thing. James Harden, he gets blasted a lot for this, and so to everybody, James Harden is going to be that person, that playoff disappointment, because that's what's always there. They always talk about James. Yeah, that's the narrative. They always talk about James Harden, but James Harden has been to a finals. James Harden has taken his team further.
Western
Other
Conference
than
Finals.
No, he's actually been to a finals also with the Thunder.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
he was
Well,
with the
okay.
Thunder,
Yeah, I forgot about that. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
1,000 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been to Western
Yeah, it was a
Conference
long time
Finals.
ago.
Yeah, but he's taking his team further than what Joel Embiid has done. Joel Embiid, of course, injuries play a big role in it too. But I mean, if you look at it, he's never made the conference finals. He's never made the finals. He has mostly first and second round exits. I mean, 18, Joel Embiid, second round. 2019, second round with that Kawhi Leonard shot that KP was talking about. And then 2020, first round exit. Then he had a second round, first round exit. I mean, that's Joel Embiid's career. I mean, hey, he had the injuries. It is what it is. But even when he's played, he's gotten outplayed and his team's gotten outplayed and he just didn't win it. So I have to say it's Joel Embiid. And then if you look at it, just overall career, Joel Embiid has basically played the same amount of games that he's not played. So even, I know we're talking about the playoffs, but I think the whole career has pretty much been a failure based off of what we expect Joel Embiid, to be. I mean, he really could have been one of the greatest top 2 or 3 centers to ever play the game, but because of those injuries, it's been kind of a failure.
Here's the thing, too. People keep saying that this man, when he was a rookie and when he was getting drafted, your expectation was Akeem Olajuwon. He ain't nowhere near that. He's not even the same subdivision as Akeem Olajuwon. On top of all that, to the point the expert made, how do you get outplayed by a guy like John Collins, who's barely hanging on the NBA right now? You even forget he's even in the NBA. That man outplayed him with the Hawks. It wasn't just Trae Young. And here's the thing. You were the best player on the team. It's your really identity to put the team on your back and get them guys there. I can say James Harden did that. Plus, he gets a lot of flack for that Golden State situation, but we always forget Chris Paul got hurt. If Chris Paul doesn't get hurt, they probably beat them.
Yeah.
That was the deciding factor because Chris Paul was tearing them up. And they couldn't handle the 1-2 punch of James and CP3. If CP3 doesn't get hurt, the whole narrative changes, man. And you just see that. And it's really obvious. And then you look at James Harden going from team to team, right? Pretty much he's always available. The guy always plays. He'll play injured. Right now, the guy's injured. He's playing right now. I think he had like almost a 30 spot today. and he was injured. Here's the other thing too. On every team that he's been on, he's made the center better and been an impact player. I can't really say that about Embiid. Who's he made better? Tyrese Maxey got better because homeboy was sitting on the bench.
Yeah, because Embiid was
The
gone.
topic is the playoff ghost award. We're not talking about who's the better and who had the better career.
But in the playoffs, it's your job to make the others better.
The playoff ghost.
Like, here's the thing.
About the playoff
it's your
ghost.
job to make the others better. So here's the thing. What's his excuse for not getting to the conference finals? What's his excuse for not getting past the second round?
Yeah, James Harden been to 4 conference finals. Embiid hasn't been to any. So
get it.
Come on.
James Harden has also had more bites of the apple. He is 4 years older than Embiid. I mean, he has. Let's just be honest. Like, he has. He's been in the league a lot longer.
Bro, you act like that man been there 10 years more than he has.
I mean, it's 4 years. It's 4 years if you're going to say that. Like, man. I mean, come on. Like,
how about
Joel Embiid's been in the league long enough to have made the conference finals. I mean, come on now. He's not a rookie, or he's not just getting in
the
league.
Saying
been
that.
Since you want to use that as an excuse,
but,
what's the excuse when you say Giannis? Giannis is younger than him, that been further than he has. What's the excuse? How about
Giannis
this?
Is a better player.
What's the excuse? We're going to talk about player for player, who's been the bigger disappointment, right? You said James Harden's had more bites of the apple. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's had more opportunities. What's this man's excuse for never getting his body in shape and having the same injuries over and over and over again because he's out of shape?
I mean,
you know they depend on you.
Don't really put everything on the out of shape. Is that what you're gonna?
He is consistently out of shape.
I mean, he comes in. He comes in out of shape though.
Yeah, but a lot of his injuries are like, look, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not gonna sit here and put. He gets injured at the worst times. This is like a situation where he goes through the whole season a lot of times, and then he gets injured in the playoffs. So, like, he's played the whole season.
What's the excuse for not making the teammates around you better? Why did you get outplayed by John Collins and Clint Capella, and you are Joel Embiid? These are 2 role players that outplayed you.
Yeah, and I got to push back. I got to push back on you, Dom, with the whole season thing. Joel Embiid doesn't play a whole season. He's only played. He's only played 65 plus games, like maybe 3 or 4 times in his career, and he's been in the league for a long time. So I mean, no, he doesn't play the whole season and then get injured in the playoffs. He doesn't play.
We all know that a lot of careers were disappointments because of injuries. I look at Embiid as it's been a disappointment because of injuries, not because he was there healthy and just shit the bed. Essentially, that's the difference for me. Embiid,
how about this?
Injuries. Harden didn't show up.
How about this? What defining moment has Embiid ever had in the playoffs? Outside of watching the man cry, what defining moment has this man had in the playoffs?
Because Embiid has played in the playoffs a lot of times, not injured like that.
He also didn't always have the best squad, though. You know that.
Okay.
He didn't have a best squad.
What's the excuse when you say James Harden played in a harder conference and he make it to the conference finals, and Embiid plays in an easier conference and can't get there? Even with
James
LeBron
Harden
being on the West Coast.
Yeah,
so let's just say,
okay,
let's use LeBron as an excuse.
Been on multiple super teams too. Multiple. So James Harden has been on multiple super teams. You can't say that for Embiid.
He's been on 2. He's been on 2.
Excuse me. The Nets, okay.
1.
Okay. The Thunder.
2.
The Clippers.
No, that's not a super team. Him and Kawhi is not a super team. Kawhi wasn't even playing to do. Why do you think James Harden played for the Cleveland Cavaliers now? Because Kawhi never played.
And then you could say the Rockets with Chris Paul, or you can when they had Russell Westbrook. But I know that's an argument. Fine.
You gonna say Dwight next?
Okay, well then how many super teams has Embiid had? Tell me, how many?
Joel Embiid has played with Paul George. Do you remember him?
That's not a super team though.
He's played with Tyrese Maxey. Remember him? He's played with James Harden.
Remember
he was
that?
Young.
He wasn't in his prime like he was in
He
now.
playing with James Harden.
He forgot about that one, didn't you?
Yeah, he did play.
And James Harden helped him out. Guess when he won an MVP? When he played with James Harden.
Yeah, James Harden was pissed about the whole, with Daryl Morey thing. He had issues with him. So
hold on. He's played with Jimmy Butler. He's played with Jimmy Butler.
And really, I don't consider that Thunder team a super team. They were too young and had just started. They didn't develop into if they would have stayed together, they could have been considered a super team. But I mean, they were just starting. They were just getting started. They just abandoned that too soon for it to become a super
I would
team.
say that, James Harden, I would say yes. But Russell Westbrook and
KD.
Kevin Durant. Were they not all-stars on that team?
They played 16 games together.
No, we're talking about the Thunder.
Somebody back in 2012, like the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, back when they went against the Heat. I don't think that's a super team yet. I mean, they were just coming into the league. James Harden was coming off the bench. James Harden wasn't even James Harden yet.
I agree with James Harden wasn't James Harden at that time.
Yeah, so no, there's no way they could have been a super team at that point.
But at the same time, he played with Jimmy Butler at the height of his powers. He played with James Harden. I mean, he don't play with all these stars, and he still a lot of players, can't get it done. And what's the common denominator? It's him.
He played with
played with all these stars and still can't get it done.
With J. Cole,
you can say the same thing.
Yeah, that's
you can say the exact same thing.
Joel Embiid played with Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I mean, James Harden
has played with half the NBA pretty much. I mean, you could rattle off all these NBA All-Stars that he's played with, and he can't get it done.
And got further. Joel Embiid the same way. And didn't get it done. But guess what? James Harden got further. So
I do believe that a lot of the issues with Joel Embiid was because of injuries. If he was fully healthy, we have a different story.
If he took care of his body and actually started lifting weights, he wouldn't be injured. Okay. He stopped coming into the season out of shape, he wouldn't be injured. This man is not Shaquille O'Neal where he can come in out of shape and still dominate. This
and then
don't work like that.
Yeah, and even with Shaq, that took a toll on him, and that's why his career, ended the way that it did. He couldn't keep going. He had a short, prime, because he wasn't taking care of his body. You look at Zion
Shaq
Williamson.
At some point took it seriously and dominated the league. Embiid has never
don't talk about
dominated
Zion
the
right now. Zion has kind of gotten it together now.
But listen, he's getting it together right now. But all these years, I mean, the time that he's been in the league, he's been having that same problem that Joel Embiid, and we don't know if Zion's going to
maturity problem.
And we don't, whatever you want to call it, he wasn't getting it done. He wasn't taking care of himself, and we don't know what's going to happen the rest of the season. We don't know what's going to happen years to come with Zion, because Zion will come in and look good at one point and then go out and have more injuries again. So you don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully Zion keeps going the way he's going, but Zion, he's had the same issues Joel Embiid, being, lazy and not taking care of yourself. Undisciplined. There it is.
Let's talk about some guys that are not undisciplined. So we've been having a debate here. We're debating basically two legends. We got basically a Hall of Famer, a past legend versus a current legend, and he's already a legend. So we talking about basically who would you rather take, or who do you think is better? We talking about Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards. I mean, he is that dude. Of course, probably got one of the hottest sneakers out there right now in the Ant-Man 1 and 2. Both of them are really dope.
That 2 is not straight to me, but go ahead.
Dog,
I'm not
still a top seller. How about this?
I get it, man.
Can you name athlete with a signature shoe selling more shoes in the current lineup than Ant-Man right now? There you go. He's selling more than Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Mike's still living off of retros. Let's be honest, from 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then you talking about a guy, Ant-Man got a gold medal, averaging basically almost 30 points a game right now, going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Has already been a multiple-time All-Star, and really should be in the MVP conversation this season. He should be.
Yeah.
For me, though, I think my MVP is Jaylen Brown. I don't know how you give it to somebody else. You kept your team in second place without allegedly your best player. Come on, man. Cut it out.
Nah, I think I still go with SG. Yeah, I mean, but that's for,
that's a different conversation. We talking about Flash, Dwayne Wade, everybody know, put respect on his name. They both at this point, let's just go 6 seasons, right? So after 6 seasons, we know Flash had won a scoring title, averaging 30 points a game. He already had that finals MVP. He already had, obviously a ring. Now, Ant-Man does have a gold medal. D-Wade didn't have one by this point just yet. He had that bronze medal. We ain't going to talk about that. And that's not D-Wade's fault. That's more on Larry Brown. But if you had to pick expert, you got to say, who would you take right now? Who is the better player? What you got, Flash or Ant-Man?
Well, if you're comparing Anthony Edwards now compared to the D-Wade in his prime.
6 years in, D-Wade, yeah.
Well, it was really D-Wade in it.
That's his prime.
Yeah, D-Wade in his prime, yeah. I mean, I would take D-Wade. Don't get me wrong. I think Ant-Man is a better shooter than D-Wade was. I think Ant-Man, and I like Ant-Man's, mentality and all that. I do think at this point, D-Wade was better on the other end of the ball. I think he was better defensively. And I think he was, more ready to lead a team and all that. Don't get me wrong, Anthony Edwards, is a great player, and I think eventually he's going to lead his team probably to a championship. But I would take D Wade at this time. I just think D Wade just had it all at this point and was just ready. He was a true leader. He was smart, true leader at this point. I definitely have to go with D Wade.
Same. I would take D Wade. I mean, and here's the thing. I do think that maybe, like we were discussing, all around Anthony Edwards is going to be a better player. Like I do, I still think he's getting there. Like every year I do see him getting better. But it's like D Wade came in the league mature, and
that man had a wife and kids when he got in the league.
Yeah, well, he did.
Mature.
He did.
Man got to pay bills.
I'm just saying he was focused. All right. He was an all around game at the beginning of his career was and it won him a championship. I mean, it is what it is. He's got right now more accomplishments than Ant does. But I will say, I mean, Ant's got a tougher road because he's in the West. I get it. But I still think he's got some learning to do and some development to get. Well, I mean, it's just me.
You got to put some respect, man. Y'all boys talking real greasy right now. Y'all better put some respect on Anthony Edwards' name. Y'all really out of pocket with this, man. You talking about a guy who was basically one of the leaders on Team USA. One of the big reasons they got a gold medal is because Ant-Man got busy. Ant-Man has taken his team to the Western Conference Finals 2 times. He don't play with no Shaquille O'Neal. And let's be honest, D-Wade wasn't nowhere near that till Shaq showed up in South Beach. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like Rudy Gobert out there doing Shaq work, because he's not. We both know that. We all know that guy is only a defensive player, and he's a dude to get choked out. He ain't got no heart. We all know all that about the guy. That's why they got him up out of Utah, because he got no heart. So let's be honest. Put some respect on Ant-Man's name, bro. This man definitely got D-Wade. You already admitted he's a better three-point shooter.
Definitely.
He already averaging the same amount of points. He is a better three-point shooter than
Definitely.
Said before, we didn't say 3-pointer. You before that, you said he definitely got D Wade. I don't know if it's just clear cut like that.
He got him. You already said he's a better three-point shooter, and it's not even close. It's not even. You don't want D Wade shooting threes. We all know that.
It's definitely close. Like
how's it close? And Ant-Man's a 3-level scorer, and D Wade's not.
It's wild.
No,
it's wild.
Yeah, it is close. But that
is definitely close.
But basing it off that the 3-point shooting and all that, I mean, come on.
The man's a 3-level scorer. What are you talking about?
So let me ask you this. At this point in their career, is Anthony Edwards a better player than what, and I hate to bring his name up, but LeBron James was at this point?
Come on, that's a whole nother animal, dog. Let's
not even
go there. Let's not even go there.
Listen. No,
that's
I'm asking the question.
By this point, LeBron already had 3 MVPs. What you talking about, man?
But what I'm saying is, you're talking about this 3-level scorer. Back then, LeBron wasn't.
I gotta take the expert name off of you, bro.
Listen. Let me finish. LeBron wasn't, and I think, like I said, LeBron was much better than Anthony Edwards at this point. But you're talking about 3-level scoring, you're talking about being able to shoot the 3, and you think that that's a big thing, and that's what puts Anthony Edwards over D Wade, then you can use that with putting Anthony Edwards over LeBron.
No.
If you want to look at it like that. Listen, because
LeBron's averaging 30 and 7 and 7 at this point. What are you talking about, yo? You sound wild.
You're taking what I'm saying as if I'm saying Anthony Edwards is better than LeBron. He's not better than LeBron. He wasn't better than LeBron at this point. I'm just saying that statement that you made about him being better than D Wade because he's a better shooter, a better 3-point shooter, and all that, that doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean nothing because you're a better 3-point shooter.
If it don't mean anything, then why they track 3-point shooting if it means nothing?
No, you being a better 3-point shooter, you're taking what I'm saying way off. You see what he's saying?
Yeah.
If you're a person being a better 3-point shooter, doesn't mean that you're a better player. That doesn't make any sense.
Bro, he can do all the same things D Wade can do, plus shoot the 3. He can get to the basket. He can score in the mid-range, and he can shoot the 3. D Wade couldn't do that.
Wade was a better defensive player. Okay, like we're talking about all around, not just 3-point shooting. Okay, I mean,
y'all act like the man is Luka Doncic and can't defend nobody. Cut it out.
I said it was close. Now, we're not saying he's Luka,
Mhm.
but I said,
Yeah.
again, it is a good comparison. It is close. But you to come in here and say it's not even close is
Man,
wild.
y'all got to put some
When you-
respect on this man's name.
I
man.
think you
y'all,
got to
y'all throwing
put
dirt
some
on the guy's
respect on
name.
Wade. I think you got to put some respect on Wade's name. You didn't see
Yeah.
I mean,
him
D
with
Wade was
Gabriella.
nice. D Wade was nice, but let's be honest, man.
on
That
now.
man's legacy is built on Shaquille O'Neal and LeBron James.
Bro, you acting like Shaquille O'Neal was the MVP Shaquille O'Neal when he was with
Bruh,
the Heat.
the dude was
come
the
on,
best
dog.
player on the team when he got there. And he carried them to the finals. He just working out of gas, and D Wade finished the job. You need to watch the tape again?
Goodness.
I disagree, bro.
Oh my goodness.
That finals with that D Wade got the MVP. He was clear cut the best player on the court in that finals, and he really deserved the MVP in that. So I don't want to hear that, man.
I didn't say he didn't deserve
Look.
the MVP in the finals. I said Shaquille O'Neal was the best player on the team until they got to the finals. We all know that.
Yeah, I just hate the 3-point shooting narrative or whatever because the game is totally different and everybody's a 3-point shooter now. Like I said, Andre Drummond right now is probably a better 3-point shooter than D Wade was at that time.
Man, there you go again with that Andre Drummond stuff, dog. You always
I'm
point
just
on Andre.
saying.
That's the only center
Yeah.
you know that you could say that's terrible that can shoot a three. And he can't shoot a three. You should have said Thomas Bryant. He make more threes than him, dog. Come on, cut it out.
What I'm doing that is because Andre Drummond is shooting threes, and you would have never thought that he would be out there shooting threes. That whole 3-point.
Andre Drummond don't even be in the
Listen,
game.
I don't think you watch the games because I see him get in the game. But
And
anyway,
for garbage time, that man don't play no meaningful minutes.
and he's shooting threes, and he's making some of them or whatever. But what I'm saying is, this is a 3-point shooting league, and what I'm getting at is everybody's shooting threes. So everybody's going to be a better 3-point shooter than what a lot of these people were in the past because they're getting a lot more attempts at it. They're getting a lot more shots. They're putting a lot more up, and they're getting a lot more reps. So it's going to be like that. So being a better 3-point shooter doesn't make you a better player. If that's the case, then shoot, Anthony Edwards might be there with Michael Jordan. And if you want to,
let me help Dom
know what I'm
out because he was talking a little greasy, right? Shaquille O'Neal in 2006 averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds a game and 2 assists a game. That's nowhere near washed up and shot 61%.
I didn't say he was washed up. I didn't say he was washed up.
Yeah,
I didn't say he was washed up, but he was not.
He wasn't the same.
2000 Shaquille O'Neal. Like, come on now.
20 points.
He wasn't.
20 points and 10 rebounds is not that's more of Dwight Howard. You know what I'm saying? That's more of a Dwight Howard number than a Shaquille O'Neal number. Like, come on now.
You act like D Wade was the bus driver the whole season, and he wasn't. Let's just be honest. He wasn't. He got there in the finals, and the finals is what everybody remembers, but they forget that Shaquille was the bus driver to get them to the finals. If they didn't have Shaquille, that man would have been nowhere near the finals. Ant-Man has done more with less. This man have been to the Western Conference Finals 2 times. D Wade don't have nothing like that on his resume without Shaquille O'Neal or LeBron James.
I don't want to hear that. You acting like Ant Edwards is the only player on his team. Like, come on, dog. Like, really?
Okay, name somebody else. Name somebody
else.
Rudy Gobert. And what does he do offensively? Nothing.
I mean, he had Cat on his team.
He did have Cat.
Where's Cat at now?
For a long time.
Hold on.
It don't matter.
The last time they went to the Western Conference Finals. Hold on. The last time they went to the Western Conference Finals, where was Cat at? In New York.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying though, he had Cat for a long time on his team, and Cat is a real good scorer, a real good basketball player. So come on now.
He's so good that the Knicks are gonna win. They're in 4th place and they're barely holding on. Come on, man. Cut it out.
Anthony Edwards is so good that Minnesota is gonna win, right? No, they're probably not gonna win either.
He got into the Western Conference Finals without Cat. So he got there with Cat and he got there without Cat. So what's the common denominator?
But you said win. But you said win. So we're talking about a championship. And the likelihood of Anthony Edwards winning the championship this year is probably the same likelihood that Cat wins a championship this year, which is probably 0%. Neither one of them are probably going to win a championship.
Let me ask you this.
I would say the Knicks.
Let me ask you this. Did Cat show up in the playoffs?
Knicks not going to win it. They can get to the finals.
No,
they
the
don't
Knicks
win
are
the
not going to
championship.
The Knicks not even coming out of the Knicks.
I would say that the Knicks have a better chance than the Wolves versus what the West has to
deal
with
versus
the Spurs.
No, they don't. Because the Knicks ain't even going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're not even going to get there.
Look, here's the thing. Knicks,
we all know Mike Brown going to get out coached. That's what he do. In the playoffs, that man always get out coached.
And the Knicks, even if they get to the finals, they'll probably be lucky to win 1 or 2 games. They're not going to win the championship.
I didn't say
it's
they
just
would win
not
the
going to happen.
championship,
But what I was
do feel
talking
like
about,
the Knicks have a better chance. But go ahead.
what I was talking about was a championship. They're not going to win it. There is no better chance or whatever. Neither one of them are winning the championship unless all the other teams just have a bunch of injuries to their best players. That's the only way they're going to get
Unless they get lucky like what happened to Tyrese Halliburton last year.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, bro. Okay, we already talked about this on the last episode. Cade Cunningham, unfortunately, is injured. He got a punctured lung. That's a bad injury. Prayerfully, the brother can get back to what he used to be. He's a dope player, so I prayerfully hope the man can. But we know now they're in trouble. They're treading water without him. They're in major trouble. They're going to keep the number 1 seat. When the playoffs start, they might lose in the first round. They're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Without Cade, they definitely.
The Knicks cannot beat Boston with or without Tatum. But especially now that Tatum is back and starting to work his way into it,
they did it last year.
Definitely not going to beat them. They're not going to beat them, bro.
They did it last year.
And guess what happened? They beat him when homeboy tore his Achilles.
No, it was like game 6 when he tore his Achilles, wasn't it? I mean, it was not like game 5. It was one of those. Like, you acting like, the Boston had him 3-0.
Where has Boston been all season without Jason Tatum? Hold on. What place has Boston been in all season without Jason Tatum?
2, right?
2. And been balling, running over people.
They're balling. I get it.
And guess what? The Knicks have not beat them at all this season. Not once. They don't got a chance. And let's be honest.
I don't put all those eggs in a regular season basket. I just don't.
Let's be honest. So I can't even 100% say the Knicks can beat the Cavs. I don't know. They probably about even. I can't even say 100% they can beat them.
Yeah, I think a lot of those teams are even. I do think the Celtics will beat the Knicks, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks did beat them. Anything could happen, in the playoffs, and I think they have, decent enough teams to do it. I just don't think the Knicks have any chance of winning the championship if they go to the finals. I just don't think.
I agree with you on the championship, expert, but getting to the finals, I do feel like the Knicks have a better shot than the Wolves do in the East with a top heavy.
Well, here's the thing.
You got OKC, the Spurs. Now you got the Lakers coming up. All these teams are better.
The Lakers are fool's gold. Come on, cut it out, yo.
Better teams than the Timberwolves. They're better teams.
But Dom, when I was speaking, I said that the Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves, either one of them, as far as winning a championship. I didn't say nothing about getting to the finals.
You didn't say getting to the finals.
You said getting to the finals.
I think,
I'm talking
honestly,
about winning the championship. That's the goal.
If you look at it, Ant-Man's been in the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years. So I'm going to bet for him to get further than the Knicks are and Cat. Secondly, here's the other thing, bro. When you start talking about it, I think the Knicks probably had a better chance if Tibbs was still the coach, because Tibbs don't really get out coached like that. He runs his players in the ground. That's why he's not the coach anymore.
Yes, he does.
But they're a better team. They were more rugged with Tibbs. It shows. They were a way more rugged team with him. And that's what you need in the playoffs. All this finesse and throwing up threes, that ain't going to work when it's the playoffs, bro. It's not. And it's been proven already. It's not going to work. And then here's the thing, too. It's the cracks are already starting to show up with the Mikal Bridges thing. You gave up so much to get this guy.
Yeah,
they are in trouble, bro. If they don't pull this off this year, they're going to have a fire sale because they're in trouble from a salary cap standpoint, and they have no draft capital. That's why Stephen A. Smith be going crazy. And they really underperforming for what the team has as far as you look at the players on there, they're underperforming.
Yeah, they really messed up.
I get it.
They really messed up with that.
They are in a weaker East than the West. Like, I just feel like they would be at the bottom if they were in the West. Like,
so here's the thing. I think just to put a button on this, we talking about in the West, the only teams that's really in Ant-Man way, obviously SGA and them gonna be in his way. He probably can't get past them. Let's be honest. He probably can't, because they got guys for days they could bring off the bench. They ain't even been playing Jalen Williams. He been hurt the majority of the season. They still ain't nobody catching him. I mean, I don't believe in the Rockets. I think that's fool's gold. I mean, they can beat the Rockets. Anything can happen there. I don't believe in the Lakers.
Either way.
Yeah, that can go either way. I think the Lakers, I think they're better than the Lakers because
I
don't
that
believe
could go either way too.
That could go either way too. And the Lakers suffer defensively. You never know what's going to happen. And we ain't seen the three, Austin Reeves and all them, get that done when it really mattered. I mean, I think Ant-Man's in a situation where he can end up back in the Western Conference Finals in a much easier spot, and he can maybe be one injury away from getting there. Hopefully that don't happen, though.
Well, you forgot about the Spurs, though.
The Spurs, yeah, but I feel like I gotta see it.
tough.
I gotta see it. Now I know they're in second place, but I gotta see it in the playoffs. We ain't seen it yet.
Yeah, but the Spurs gonna be tough, and they don't have an
The
answer
Spurs are
for
gonna be tough.
Victor Wembanyama. They,
Yep,
you
I
know,
agree.
Yeah, he gonna outplay Gobert. He gonna outplay Gobert.
yeah, you're gonna destroy Gobert. So the Spurs, you gotta add them in there. I
You
mean,
do.
Minnesota to get there, barring injury, Minnesota to get there is gonna be tough. It's gonna be
It's a
hard
rough road. It's
because
rugged.
Anthony Edwards doesn't necessarily have that second star next to him. He has decent role players around him, but he doesn't have that second star. Meaning Anthony Edwards can't really fall off any game if they're gonna make it, if they're gonna keep going through there. He's
No,
gonna have
because his Robin is playing in Atlanta right now. They got them guys in sixth place. That's what they need to kill Alexander Walker that's playing in Atlanta. That's the missing piece right there. So talking about missing pieces,
Oh well.
we got a new segment. This is basically Super Team Graveyard for the NBA. So we're gonna bring y'all different teams that's in the Super Team Graveyard that we say, hey man, that should have been something, and it really wasn't. So we're gonna talk about that. So when we talk about the Super Team Graveyard, we're gonna start with the Phoenix Suns from 2023 to 2025. Of course, that's Katie, that's Bradley Beal, and of course, we're talking about Booker. I have to say, the expert was the one to pick this one. I 100% agree. This is a complete fail job. And
Yeah.
it was a horrible decision to put these guys together. You cannot put no 3 ISO players together and think it's gonna work. It was a bad
Yeah.
decision. I mean, this is one of the ones on paper, on 2K it works, but not in real life.
Yeah, they gave up a lot to get these players. They had 0 depth. They had no, true point guard. It just wasn't gonna work. I mean, they were playing Devin Booker a lot at point guard. Devin
PG.
Booker, yeah, Bradley Beal had his injuries. He wasn't really playing a lot.
And the
then it was
fans was
just
going at Bradley Beal's wife because he wasn't playing.
yeah, and the biggest thing though was just, and I think this happens with a lot of Kevin Durant teams. And I hate to put it all on Kevin Durant, but wherever he goes, it turns into an ISO game. With the exception of Golden State, because they already, Draymond Green wasn't letting that happen. But if you
Steve
look
Kerr
at it,
either.
yeah, but Draymond Green was getting in his face whenever Kevin Durant was trying to do that. But if you look at it, I mean, even in Brooklyn, Kevin Durant, that team was all ISO. You look at the Phoenix, it was all ISO, and that all ISO is not going to get you anywhere.
Hey, and shameless plug, if y'all haven't seen this video, we got a video up right now explaining why Kevin Durant is the most cursed NBA player of all time, even given his situation at Golden State. Go ahead, Dom.
I mean, it's hard to really pick. If I had to pick out of these, I mean, it's clearly the Phoenix Suns, like y'all were saying. Like, I knew that wasn't gonna work. Plus, I felt like I hadn't really seen Beal in a while. Like, you know what I'm saying, before he went to the Suns, and the fact that then he sat for so long, I kind of knew, yeah, he might have even been done before they even made that trade. Like, I'm just being honest.
You say he was washed, basically.
Yeah, he was done. Like, I mean, he was in the Washington wasteland, and I just think he was with the Wizards, and they magically took his skills away. I don't know, but I mean,
He
I
joined the
just knew that
Monstars,
wasn't gonna work.
basically.
Yeah, I kind of knew that wasn't gonna work, and it was horrible. So I have to go with, out of those choices. I mean, if I'm looking at what could have been, I think out of all of them, potentially the Brooklyn Nets had the best potential. If it wasn't for certain injuries and so forth, especially to Kyrie. So I think they had the best potential, but the Phoenix Suns is probably the worst. The Super Team Graveyard, as like y'all like to put it.
Yeah, we gonna talk about them another time, but here's the thing, man. I gotta also kind of add this in, and this is crazy. Think about if you Booker, how angry you had to be that you was in the NBA Finals and you was basically a CP3 injury away from being able to beat Giannis, and then they replaced Giannis and Aiden with some guys. One guy that just want to play ISO, and the other guy that don't even ain't even gonna be on the court. Like that's you got to be pretty mad, man. You went from basically first place to last place because them guys ain't even getting nowhere near a playoff game.
Exactly. Kevin Durant, if you're gonna use him, you're gonna have to use him in a way like how Golden State did. You already have your system, and he's a add-in. You're adding him in. He's a great add-in. Don't get me wrong, but
Like
if
the
you
Wizards,
don't,
like the Warriors.
yeah, but if you put Kevin Durant on your team and you don't have that system together, or you have to get rid of some main players in that system, they'll get Kevin Durant there, and now you're trying to get a system together. It doesn't really work too well because then it turns into a lot of isolation. I mean, even with Houston, the reason why we're not real big on Houston right now is because it turns into that. They got rid of key pieces to get Kevin Durant. So now they're trying to get that offense together and it's not really working as well because, they run into that isolation game so much. It's just I don't know. It's just something about Kevin Durant. Don't get me wrong. I think Kevin Durant's probably one of the greatest players to ever play the game, probably the most talented to ever play the game. So, I don't want to down Kevin Durant or anything about his basketball skills. It's just if you get a player that dynamic on
He
your
just
team, you
doesn't
got to
fit
know how to
everywhere.
use them. And you got to have that offense together to really use him.
This was crazy though when you look at this too, and you talk about all that. Not only did they basically, if you're Booker, you were within the NBA Finals. This is the worst part because you took on 3 max contracts. You had to gut the whole team, so they had no bench. Basically, they had a bunch of guys as you can't count on. And then this shows you how wild the work is. Bradley Beal is averaging 8 points a game right now. I had to remember what team this guy even play for. I'm like, is he retired? He plays for the Clippers.
Yeah.
I forgot he
Yeah.
even played for the Clippers.
Yeah. He was a 30-point a game scorer at one point, so.
That's crazy, but we want to hear from y'all. Who do y'all think is the most, team in the super team graveyard? What y'all think about these Suns? We gonna tell you some more teams that's in that graveyard too. And we got another segment that's new too. We will talk about a team that you want to see run it back that you wish you could have had one more year. It could be an NBA team, it could be a baseball team, it might even be, an NFL team. I'm gonna give y'all an example. In baseball, I would have loved to see the Braves running back one more time with the crime dog and with the big cat and all them guys. They had some right there, and we was right there, but we ain't make it. But we talking about right now, the team we picked for this week is we talking about the OKC Thunder. You know what I'm saying? I know Mike said this is a team that he would have want to see play one more time. I got a little different picks. I'm gonna tell y'all somebody different, but I'm gonna let Expert go ahead and take off on that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, I said the OKC Thunder because we didn't really get to see them a whole lot. They were young. They made it to the finals. They went against
You might want
Go
to say the
ahead.
year too. You might want to say the
Oh
year.
yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
Mhm.
2012.
Well, once I explained, who was on the team,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
probably would have
yeah.
known. But and I was about to say they went against the Heatles, so, and I mean, they went against a team that was stacked and was seasoned already, with LeBron James, D Wade, and Chris Bosh and stuff. But that team, if they would have stayed together, I think would have, done some great things. Probably could have even been a dynasty of their own, or at least won a couple, 2, 3 championships. So I mean, that was a great team. I mean, you had James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant. You even had
Plus Serge
Ibaka.
Ibaka.
That's what I just said. You had Ibaka, although for that team to stay together, Ibaka would have had to go instead of James Harden. I mean, and you had Kendrick Perkins on there.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so but that was
Right.
that was a real good team, and I think they could have really did some great things, and they would have been hard to beat going forward.
Hey Dom, in an alternate timeline, that team probably keeps the Golden State Warriors from being a dynasty.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because that would have totally
I
changed
agreed.
a lot of different things,
Mhm.
in
Yeah, I
the
agree.
NBA landscape. And even if LeBron goes back to the Cavs, maybe they don't get Kevin Love. Maybe they go for Paul George or somebody else. Because if you look at that matchup, let's say that everything still happens where LeBron leaves the Heat because D Wade is aging and stuff like that. Kevin Love is not the best matchup against those guys at that point.
Yeah.
You need another wing player, so that would have been an interesting thing, man. What you got on
Or
that?
go ahead.
Go ahead. What you say,
I
expert?
I was
Go
gonna say,
ahead.
or LeBron may not even have 4 titles because he may not have got that second title the next season was that the first one that they won?
2016, 2015, they don't win because Kyrie is hurt or
Mhm.
tore up his knee in the finals, and then Kevin Love, unfortunately to homeboy, what's his name, Kelly Olynyk, ripped his
Yeah.
shoulder up. So yeah, that's you know
Yeah, because I think they would have stopped a lot of people from getting titles, and of course, Kevin Durant would have never been on Golden State, so Golden State wouldn't have turned into the dynasty that they were. So yeah,
Now,
it
Dom,
would
that
have
would have
been
been an interesting matchup to see LeBron and Kyrie and whoever third player they got against them. That would have been interesting to see Russell Westbrook and Kyrie go at that in their primes. That would have been very interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who you got, man?
So, I mean, are we picking out of these 3 teams, or are we like,
I mean, you can
like
say
were just
what
talking
you if you feel like it's
anybody?
OKC, or you could throw somebody else out there if you want to. It's up to you.
If OKC would have went against the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love, who do you think would have won? Would it have been that OKC team or would it have been that Cleveland team? Would LeBron have got that championship with Cleveland?
I think that's hard to say because of the fact that, I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers on that team, they were a good squad.
They were not
Yeah.
going to be denied that year.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say that it's automatically OKC would have won that. So I think that would have been a great finals. That would have been a legendary finals. But just like it was against the Warriors, it was a legendary finals. It's just
that's probably the best NBA finals of all time. We talking about actual competition, and
that's how you answer a question and say absolutely nothing. But
I know
I was a politician now.
Look,
you know what I'm saying?
I cannot say that Cleveland would absolutely win, and I can't say OKC would absolutely win.
Well,
Because
I think
I mean,
I'm gonna put my money
don't
on LeBron and the Cavs. I mean, not just because that's my team, but because also I'm looking at it like this: Kevin Durant, LeBron James probably cancel each other out, and LeBron just. First off, the man went nuclear. The dude had 3 40-point games in a row.
Yeah,
so that's kind of crazy.
He went crazy.
And then him and Kyrie.
Possessed.
Him and
You're
Kyrie.
talking about LeBron that was possessed.
They went for 40 each. And I say it comes down to Kyrie. And I don't think that Russell Westbrook is ready to dance with Kyrie, because Kyrie would have made that man dance all over that court. And I think that was a difference. Plus, if you keep Kevin Love, it does cause a little bit of a matchup problem, because now you basically putting Perk on Kevin Love and sending him out to the 3. So Tristan going to be grabbing all the boards. I mean, I think it brings up some really good matchups because, again, you got James Harden coming off the bench. It probably would have been a starter by this point, but at the same time, there's only one basketball. Can't both be shooting. So I think James Harden's game would have developed differently had he stayed in OKC. So he probably wouldn't be the prolific scorer that he turned into with Houston. So he probably would have been a really cold starter, but maybe not the guy that we saw in Houston. So for that reason, I got to go with the Cavs, man.
No, I feel
the Cavs had defense too. The Cavs were a rugged defensive team in 2016. They had defense like crazy. So, and they got the bigs off the bench with Mozgov and these other guys, Shump. I'm gonna go with the Cavs.
I think Kyrie, just like Westbrook would have had trouble with Kyrie would have had a lot of trouble with Westbrook. I mean, as athletic as
he would have put him in the box.
And how downhill he is with Kyrie wouldn't have been able to guard Westbrook.
That's when you put Shump on him, and then you got to also look at JR too. I mean, Harden got to be chasing JR around the court because JR is running off screens, hitting threes. So it's a lot of different chess pieces going on at the same time. But I still got to get an edge.
I think it would have been so close that it would have came down to a J.R. Smith boneheaded play or whatever.
Well, no,
or it could come down to a Russell Westbrook boneheaded play.
True,
it could be
that is true. That is true.
The same thing.
Russell Westbrook could have did the same thing. Yeah.
Here's the thing: the ball wouldn't even been in JR's hand. That situation, it could have came down to the same thing. It came down to what happened in real life. Kyrie made somebody dance and hit a big shot. So
KD could have hit a big shot.
But this is why I say it could go back and forth.
Yeah.
Y'all are more on my side. Seriously, this is like I don't know.
We need somebody to run a simulation on 2K and let us know who wins. That's what we need.
The difference though, Dom, is that me and KP actually gave an answer. You said Cleveland, and I said OKC.
All right.
Well, let's talk about giving answers.
You said, I don't know. Maybe Golden State would have won, even though they wouldn't.
Y'all check out. Maybe next time we might be talking about Toronto in 2019. And let's talk about some answers real quick. We appreciate all the answers and comments y'all gave us, especially when we said that Wemby was overrated. I love it, man.
Yeah,
please continue.
Notice I was not on that video. Don't come for me. They was talking crazy. I don't know what they was on. Yeah, that was not me.
And we appreciate all the comments that y'all commented again about Tatum. And we see that some people actually see it the same way we do, that Giannis is a better fit. But we appreciate all of y'all. Continue to like, share, subscribe. We'll catch y'all next time.
Yeah, when that video gets monetized, don't give it to Dom because he said don't come for me.